All right, Alan, you've won the toss. You've sent the challengers to bat. A chance for Cleveland to hold on to the cup. Obviously, you want to restrict them. Weather's going to play a major part. What you plan for today?
Actually, with the weather, is actually playing into my favor because with Musson, I'm gonna actually looking to be moving the ball very early and knock them down cheaply, hopefully cheaply, and get the ball rolling early with a little bit of dampness on the pitch that we have here right now.
Now they come in on a high. Their season's been going well. So how do you plan to tame that?
Like my coach said, the game's not about names, it's played on the field. So whatever they have today, we're ready to equal it and go a little bit better.
All right, good luck.
Appreciate it.
Cofield, you guys have lost the toss, been sent to bat. What do you think the target would be?
Anywhere between 220, 250, and I think that should be enough on a day like today.
Now, obviously the weather's going to play a part. A good start is important.
Very important. Build an innings. Each partnership is crucial, you know.
All right, well, good luck.
Thank you very much.
One for 10 balls. As Bow once again into pitcher's playing out to the covers, where Adam Douglas Jr. runs around to his right, gets Runs back into keeper Anderson. 7 for the loss of 1. Back at his mark now. Runs in. Left arm over. Runs past umpire Deal. And he's wrapping one of the pairs. A lot uphill, but umpire has nothing to do with that. Umpire Deal. A lot of appeal from all the players. As Bell now runs in. There's one short and he's hooking it. That doesn't get clean contact, but gets around to back with a square. And gets 1 out of that. So Azim pitcher on 4. Score now is 8 for the loss of 1. What would you advise for something early with these batsmen? That one's pitched up on Cofield Robinson. He's turned around to the onside.
Everybody has different techniques. It's just like when you're coaching. Some people go back and forth.
As Dennis Musson Jr. will continue from the southern end, but into Cofield Robinson. That one's going down. Leg is turning in, but he's sending pitcher back. As Rabin does good to retrieve the ball just in front of the square leg umpire. As Dennis Musson Jr. runs it right arm over. That one's straight down, leg again, wrapping on the pad. Judge Jason Anderson appealing for that. Gotta say kudos to the Bailey's Bay groundsman. We've had 3 excellent fields for the rounds of Eastern County.
And Gilbert is probably one of the better groundsmen in the island.
As Robinson's taking a wild swing at that outside of off stump. Ball was wide, and he took a wild swing at that. Doesn't make contact. And Dennis Musson Jr. now runs in. This one's a batter ball. That's a good drive from Robinson as he checked his drive just now, but it was in the meat of the bat and it shot away from the bat just now and beat Federal Gibbons at mid-off and raced to the boundary for 4. So 4 for Robinson. It's a good shot from Robinson. He checked the swing just now. Didn't really follow through, but checked it and got it in the meat of the bat.
Made it later.
Munson now runs back in. This one's pitched up again, but this time Robinson's playing it up to Gibbons. He runs in. 13 for the loss of 1. Robinson's on 5. As this time Robinson gets outside edge. And it goes all the way to the cover point boundary. So he looked like he wanted to drive out to the extra cover, but got a thick edge. And it went square of the wicket, but it went to the boundary for 4. So 8 runs in that over. Robinson. And in comes Damali Bell. That one's outside the off stump. This pitch is driving it out to mid-off where Treadwell Gibbons Jr. feels
Gentle
clean.
medium pitch.
Gentle medium. Lobby dubbies.
Damali Bell this time just short of a late. Good line there as pitcher plays it back down to Damali Bell.
Played youth cricket for Bermuda, so he has a lot of potential in the early order batsman.
This one gets inside. I was just trying to turn around to the onside.
You're talking about like that evening league something there, Jason.
I haven't seen it yet, so I can't speak on it.
I'll tell you, I play in the league, and there's about 20 players in that league that could play in Premier League and do well. They just don't have the time to train. They have quite a few South Africans, quite a few English.
Okay.
Quite a few the Islanders that played in the Premier League, but they're just content to play in the even league now. Barry Richardson's down in there.
Yes.
It's a good league to play in. Very competitive.
Oh, that's a good ball from Damali Bell. A real good ball, and he is bold. Look like he may have played it on too.
Thick inside here.
Yeah. A good ball from Damali Bell as they one was just pitched on the off stump, but cut back into Robinson. Robinson, it came off the inside of his bat and onto the middle stump, and Robinson is bowled for 9. So Damali Bell has just picked up his first wicket in the 3rd round of Eastern County, dismissing the captain and coach, Cofield Robinson. Scores 18 for the loss of 2. as they're getting a field set. It'll be 2 slips of man and Garland. Man at point. Man at short extra cover. Man at mid on, mid off. Man at short forward square. Looks like Bell now into Wilson. That one's drifting on leg. He gets the outside edge, goes all the way to point. He was looking to turn that around to the onside. Gets a lead and edge and goes all the way to point where Stephen Douglas Jr. fields. As they're just making some adjustments now, and it look like they've just moved their third man over to fine leg. That was Dennis Musson Jr. They're pushing around a little bit more towards the club. All right, here comes Damali Bow now. Pass on Pardille. The one.
Wow.
Just outside of the off stump, but that one sort of stayed straight, but that's the other one. The over. That's
Just joining us, Cleveland County, the champions this morning, won the toss and decided to send in Flatt's Victoria Club, and they are presently 19 for the loss of 2 wickets. We have Dennis Musson operating from the northern end into pitcher, and pitcher's driving on the onside where it's fielded by Stephen Douglas. The batsman crossed for a single, so the total moves on to 20 for the loss of 2. The out batsman, Captain Cofield Robinson, as he comes in right arm over the wicket to Wilson. This is just short, and Wilson on the back foot plays straight back down the wicket. No chance of a run. 3.3 overs, 1 maiden, 1 for 11 as he comes into Wilson, and once again, and this one's down the leg side. It's going to go through for 4 byes. So the total moves on to 24 for the loss of 2. Very erratic delivery there from Musson. He sprayed that down the leg side, and we can keep Jason Anderson unable to get to it. As Musson comes in once again to Wilson. Short, and Wilson's on the back foot. Plays it back down, where it's fielded by Damon Morbane. Once again, no chance of a run. Spectators not used to success. At least somebody knows they're going to be a winner here today. As Musson comes in to Wilson, and Wilson on the front foot. Lets it go through to keep Jason Anderson. It's a better delivery from Musson, but we know sometime at the end of this match that Flatt's Victoria Club, or the mighty CCC, will be holding on to the coveted Eastern Conference Cup for the first time in many, many, many years.
And bragging rights until next year.
As Musson comes in once again to Wilson, fullest delivery. Wilson attempted to drive.
Oh yes.
Giving out LBW. So Wilson is out LBW to Musson without scoring.
Nope. Yep, he didn't score either.
Wilson is out for North. LBW to Dennis Musson. That was pitched up. Received Wilson a little bit through his guard, hit on the back bed, and umpire McCurdy had no hesitation in giving out Wilson as he walked slowly back to the pavilion.
But we don't know the extent of, obviously we don't know the extent of his injury.
Yeah, they can him off. That's not good news for Cleveland.
Look at his face, you can see.
And no Dion Stubble, for you to carry him off, he's really got to be hurt.
Had a swashbuckling century 2 years ago right here. And first ball, Gino Smith pushes down toward third man. They go through. That's right.
Cricket's going
That's
advance to the next level.
That's right. That's right. That's right. So it's Dennis Musson Jr. now, bowling from the southern end below our sports microphone, relocated above and behind the sight screen. Things are high tech now.
I was about to say, Sean, you're pretty ill back there.
Musson again, right arm over, and this one is outside the off stump. And Cheeto Smith watches it go by. Musson again, and lovely stroke from Smith, but directly to Douglas. Oh, it's Shakai again.
Down.
And that one goes by outside the off stop position. Promises to be a great match. That's the end of the over. The result of the first innings, and the second incomplete innings will not count. So, and he's bowled! Nelson Bascom is bowled. First ball. A beautiful ball from Dennis Musson. Swung in, and moved away after hitting the ground. And Bascom stepped away from that, and his off stump is knocked back.
He looked like he didn't want to get close to it.
That's right.
He backed up from it.
And his off stump is lying back. Clean ball. First ball. And Flats are 50 for 9. Flats are reeling at 50 for 9.
I don't know what it looked like to you guys.
1, 2, 3. 3 men in the slips. Bringing a fourth man in now.
Looks like Bean.
Yeah. 4 men in the slips. Musson, right arm over the wicket, comes in and bowls to Woolridge, and he's wrapped on the pad. Boy, there's a loud and confident appeal. And if ever there was a bad shot, that was it. He played completely across the line of the ball. Che Woolridge. In comes Dennis Musson, right arm over. I wonder if he's held a bat before. I hope he bowls. Woolridge taking strike now. In comes Musson, right arm over the wicket. And
oh yeah.
All right. Forward defensively. That's the end of the over. End of the Kira. Another reason why you should be here at the Eastern County. Still a lot of cricket in store, because I would say that it's pretty safe to say that there will be a second innings here today. And you know, the way that it works is that the second innings is a whole nother game. Anything could happen. Anything could happen. Everybody's laughing at me. Tamale Bell bowls to Raji Ednis, and Raji lofts that one outside. Big 6. No, it bounced just in front of the long on boundary. It looked from this vantage point as if it was going outside, but it bounced just in front of the long on boundary. So that's 4 runs.
So when you think about it, he doesn't have a chance because it doesn't look like the number 11 batsman can hang around. So he's going to have to try and bat out the rest of the overs.
That's right.
That's a senior batsman.
Tamale Bell to Raji Ednis again. Ednis forward defensively.
In the referee, just bat out and try to get a single on the 5th or 6th.
That's right.
The batsman can bat one ball.
That's right.
It's the only way out of this predicament.
Well, he's an experienced batsman. He's been around a long time. He's needed number 9. Bell again to Ednis. Lovely stroke, outside edge, and it's going down toward the backward point boundary. It's going to be cut off, and they go through for 2. 2 runs. 2 runs. Ednis. Ednis moves on to 7, and the score is 56 for 9. And he comes. Ednis stands back, watches that one go by. Dennis again pushes this one into the covers, and they hustle through quickly for a single. It's 57 for 9 now. Dennis gets the in he comes, Dennis Musson. He bowls to Raji Ednis, and he is out. Gives an easy catch to the wicket keep, an outside edge, and Jason Anderson made no mistake about that. An easy catch, and Flats are all out for 57. Flats are all out for 57. And
Just about speechless at this one.
yeah, and, Cleveland County have now gone in, opening the bowling for Flats. Keywan Franks bowling to Treadwell Gibbons Jr. and Courtney Trott. First ball goes down the leg side, and Gibbons watches it go by. Offers a half-hearted stroke.
This has been a change with Treadwell Gibbons Jr. opening up.
Yeah.
They've been opening up with Jason Anderson and Courtney Trott. I hope he's okay, because we saw this man the Belco Cup. Last time you was here, we saw this. Yeah. His knee buckled as Treadwell Gibbons attempted to drive that, but it looked like his knee buckles, and he's down on the ground. As being attended to now by the Cleveland medic.
Second injury that we've seen.
Yeah, but we saw that Belco Cup
With him.
Yeah. It was the exact same thing. And almost seemed like it was like the second or third ball of the innings. Now, I know the last time we got injured, we talked about the batsman's footwear, especially on the grassy wicket. Could have played some part in slipping and not getting the grip.
I have the same issues. I think most coaches have the same issues. These modern day players.
It's Keywan Franks now, bowling to Jason Anderson, the new batsman. Anderson steps forward and watches that one go by. He raises his bat, allows it to go through.
Flatt's players seem to have lost their energy in the field already.
What they need to realize is that if they... Jason Anderson plays this one back down the wicket. What I'm unclear on is if there is a second innings, if Cleveland passes the score, if they're allowed to continue batting, or if it will be a second game. That I'm not sure. In other words, if they pass and they get 57, well, it doesn't speak to it. If they pass the score, then they just stop and Flats go back in, or if Cleveland are allowed to continue batting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would think that Cleveland will be allowed to continue batting, and
Cleveland were just allowed to continue batting, and then like a normal 2 innings match. Lovely stroke from Anderson. He turns this one off his toes through mid-wicket. It's picked up out there by, is that Woolridge? And they get a single. Jason Anderson is 1, and the score is 1 without loss. Good afternoon and welcome back to the resumption of play of the finals of the Eastern County Cup. First ball has just been bowled. It's 1 for North here at Seabreeze Oval in reply to 57 all out posted by Flats Victoria. That's right, you heard it right, 57 all out posted by Flats. And in reply, Cleveland County are now 2 without loss. Jason Anderson has just moved on to 2, and Courtney Trott, the other batsman, is taking strike from the clubhouse end here, as Bascom is in right arm over the wicket to bowl to Courtney Trott. It's a full toss, and Trott cracks that one through the covers for 4.
He just had to show it up.
Nice looking stroke.
That's a give me stroke.
Yeah, nice looking
Put it
stroke
up there to him and let him hit it.
Courtney Trott's had a good day so far. Took a good catch in the slips. I tell you, I always saw Courtney Trott as a manager. Don't always see him as a player, but he's shown his worth today. As Bascom comes in and bowls, and Trott digs this one out and pushes it out into the extra cover position where it's fielded by, can't quite make out who that is. Cofield Robinson, the captain.
One thing about Courtney, he's a coach's player. He's the one that does the work that goes unnoticed, but you know you're going to get to see him from him week in and week out.
Yes. Bascom is in again, right arm over. He bowls, and he's beaten. Beautiful ball from Bascom, just outside the off stump, moving away, and goes through to the wicket keeper. That's Wilson, standing back.
Courtney, in your year or under you?
Same year.
See, Jason, you coming out there.
I can't take this heat. Sean baptized me in cup match.
This one. Trott watches it go by outside the off stump. No run there. 6 without loss is the score, in reply to 57 all out. So we were talking about what happened. We'll talk a bit more about that in between the innings, about what happens when the score is passed. Obviously that is relevant considering the hour. Trott is wrapped on the pad. There's a loud appeal, a bit of excitement as Reggie Baker runs in and takes the catch, but he's not out. That's the end. Before the 10-7, then the second innings, the result of the second innings will count. The first ball of Keywan Frank's second over, the wraps Jason Anderson on the pad. There's a loud appeal, but it was well outside the off stump. And Mr. McCurdy says not out. So if the second innings is completed before 10-7, then the second innings is completed before 10-7, then the second innings will count towards the result of this match.
And that could possibly mean.
That's what I'm saying. Lovely stroke. Lovely stroke from Jason Anderson. Will it carry? Yes, barely. Jason Anderson steps back, and cracks that one to the extra cover boundary before. He moves on to. It's going to be if Flatt's. Jason Anderson turns this one around to backward square leg, and they go through for a comfortable single. Jason Anderson moves on to 7, and the score moves on to 11. So it's 11 without loss in reply to 57 without loss. So let's say this match goes into a second innings, right? Flatt's Cleveland County passed the score, and they bat on. They get 150. Flatt's goes back in. So they get 150, then it becomes a 2 innings match. Flatt goes back in. That scores, well, we're talking 1 day. In the realms of possibility. No, say they got 100. Flatt goes back in. Flatt gets 100. Cleveland gets knocked down.
No, but if they get 100, they still lose.
No, because we're talking about the second innings.
Yeah, but if they only score 57.
Ooh, good ball. Keywan Franks wraps Courtney Trott on the pad. There's a loud appeal for an LBW. I think he got a touch to the back to that one. Mr. McCurdy says not out. Mathematically, it's still possible. Maybe not realistically, but mathematically, it's still possible. Franks again, bowls, and Courtney Trott digs this one out. Good ball. Courtney Trott, tall, left-hand bat.
Does the basics well.
Turns this one around to square leg. They think of one, decide against it.
Old tires with the new. No reservations necessary. We're open Monday to Saturday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. That's Island Construction on the Middle Road in Devonshire. We'll be waiting to make your vehicle all it can be with the world's best tires. You can call us at 236-3011. We look forward to giving you a safer ride.
Labor Day in Bermuda falls on the first Monday of September and marks the beginning of the end of summer, time to wind down, focus on back to school, back to work, back to reality. There was a time when that reality was harsher for many Bermudians. The workers, the people who made the wheels of commerce turn, driving the prosperity of our island, were often the victims of the darker side of human nature. The labor movement was a force for positive change and restorative justice, and that's worth celebrating. Lindos, why go anyplace else?
And we're back here at Seabreeze Oval where Jason Anderson just flicked Nelson Bascom off his pads to the mid-wicket boundary for 4 and pushing the total now 15 without loss. Chasing down 57. Flatt's posted. As Bascom about to blow his third ball of this over. As he runs it now past umpire Roger Dill. That was outside of the off stump as Anderson's on the back foot, punching this one out to get off. Flats. All out for 57. Jason Anderson not out on 11. Courtney Trott not out on 4. Treadwell Gibbons Jr. had retired after a knee injury. As Bascom once again, he's pitching that one out to Anderson, pitching the one up. Anderson's playing it back down to Bascom. Field season.
I didn't envy you guys' cup match because I went up and watched the final trial up Somerset, and I saw you were still in that little square, and I said, oh, Indiana's looking even better.
Mercy.
It was a baptized.
Baptism by fire.
Was it? As Anderson just played his last ball onto the onside. We're at Baker Fields. 15 without loss as Bascom runs it down. Right arm over. This one's just outside the off stump. And that's the end of the over. One noticeable difference between the two bowlers so far. They're not getting as much swing. Glad you mentioned that, but Frank's now to Trott. Trott's tempted to drive, but he's been beaten outside the off stump. Now, we talked a bit of it when he was at Belco Cup, but as you as a national coach, what's the future you think for the best thing for island cricketers as far as the leagues? Should we concentrate more on schools, more on the grassroots?
Yeah, we just got to put a little bit more emphasis into the schools, particularly the younger group. You got to have your programs put in place from that group and move it straight through into the under 13s, under 15s. But you have to have
attempted to drive that. It's partially stopped by Franks. That's going to be cut off down there just below us. And they get through for 1. So Trott now on 5. Score 16 without loss.
Yeah, you have to have coaches that are going to follow programs and make sure, that no nails left unturned. So that's where it's at. You got to get it from a young age. It's almost like me being a national coach, but I'm mainly dealing with the national score. Now that should be done with the grassroots and coming all the way up.
Franks once again to Anderson. We're cutting it to Anderson. Because you've obviously traveled the world with the national score. And you've seen a lot of these teams, back home we're thinking, who are they? And we're thinking, what are they doing that we're not doing?
Well, I think personally we have probably advantage over most of them because they're bigger countries.
Bigger pools to choose
Yeah,
from.
they have a bigger pool to choose from, but they don't see each other a lot. Like if you look at our region in particular, the Canadians and the Americans, they don't see each other till maybe 2-3 weeks before a tournament, but they have a larger pool to pick from.
Right.
Whereas we have a smaller pool, but we have them right in front of us at our convenience. Now, when they come to training, if they come to training, then we get to work with them. So we're a bit more organized. They are. What we lack in talent, we get through with, our organization. That's why we're able to compete at that level.
Franks, this one, another one to Anderson. Anderson out on the front foot, forward defense.
Because if you go man for man from those teams to our teams, they're going to outmatch us. Now, when we go up to the next level, like Division 2, Division 3 tournament stand, that's a whole different ball game. Because those teams are together longer, they're all year. They play more matches than we probably played in 2 or 3 years. Remember, we were at that level when we were in the World Cup.
Yeah.
But since being in D3, playing time has been limited.
Franks, that one's over pitch
We're
ball
a national coach that works with players all year. We don't have a high performance program. It's in place. It's in the grassroots level right now, but we have a lot of work to do, but we do have an advantage that we can get to our players a lot quicker than fellow competitors like Canada and America.
That's the end of the 5th over. 16 without loss. Trot on 5. Anderson on 11 after 3 overs. These young Franks, 3 overs, none for 7. And Nelson Bascom, 2 overs, no maintenance, none for 9.
The other thing when you look at it, Jason, is that you got to remember all those other countries, they don't have homegrown players. They have all expats.
Yes.
If you look at the teams that are above us, they all have expats. Indians, Pakistanians, South Africans, Australians. We don't have that. We don't have that contact anymore because police, they don't even have a cricket team.
They have a cricket team anymore. As Bascom continues to try. That was misfielded there. And they're going to get 1 for that.
He's having a bad day.
That's Vernon Eve playing that point, misfielded the ball. So 1 more for Trot. Eve was bowled from his first delivery. First delivery he faced today, he was bowled. And actually, Sean, I remember thinking it was bad luck, Sean, because we watched him a match up at Southampton Rangers for the Western against Warwick, and he was bowled, I think, the second over of that match, second ball of that match.
I haven't seen him score any runs this year.
That's what I'm saying.
He hasn't had very good luck.
Saturdays are not good for him.
No.
Sometimes you have those type of years, though.
Yeah.
It's Bascom now to Anderson. That one's a good pitch. As Anderson punched it straight to Baker, who's feeling short of the wicket. Yeah, we had a very large West Indian contingency of players for many years.
I remember at one time.
Many years.
They all came.
Remember at one time there was the annual Bermudian.
Yes, that shot from Anderson as he pulls that ball from outside off stump all the way up to long on for 4. So 4 more for Anderson, puts his total now to 15. Scores 21 without loss. 21 without loss.
At one time we had the annual Bermuda-born versus West Indian-born match.
Yep.
Have that now. We don't have that, like we said, we don't have that police force coming in anymore. Even we had some English players that used to come in as policemen, and they used to play with the police team. There's no police team in the league anymore. I don't know how that recruiting process is going, but it's hurt us in the long run.
Bascom now to Anderson. He's out stretching down the wicket, playing full defense.
And most of the expats that we have right now, they play in the evening league because they don't have to train. And there are some good players in the league, believe it or not, some exceptional players that could play in Bermuda's Premier League.
Bascom now to Anderson, thinking about one as he drops the ball just in the cover region, but Bascom gets on it very quickly, prevents them from taking a single. If you remember, Anderson had a good knock the first round against Davids. He goes in the back foot, punches that one straight to Baker again. And that's the end of the over. So after 6 overs, the score is 21.
Telco offers this storm season reminder. Most storm-related outages are caused by foliage coming into contact with power lines. Trim your tree branches at least 10 feet away from power lines. To make advanced arrangement for power lines to be de-energized so that your landscaper can work safely, please contact Belco at 299-2800 or info@belco.bm.
Okay, we're back here at Seabreeze Oval. It's total now Cleveland County are 21 without loss. They have Courtney Trott, who's on 6 off the 12 balls. Jason Anderson, who's 15 off the 23. To just join us, Flatt's Victoria Cricket Club was bowled out for 57. It's going to be Taiwan Franks, who continue operating from the southern end. He's currently bowled 3.1 overs, and he has given up 7 runs. And Nelson Bascom is bowling from the northern end, 3 overs, none for 14. As Franks in a footer's length, and he's bowled Courtney Trott.
Clean ball.
Forward defense, beaten on the outside of that blade, the all-stump knockback. So Cleveland County have lost the first wicket. Courtney Trott bowled Taiwan Franks for 6. So Flatt's Victoria has struck. They need to get another 9 wickets and 36 before 36 runs are scored. So they have quite a bit of work to do here at Seabreeze Oval, but nevertheless they've collected their first wicket. Taiwan Franks bowled and Courtney Trott for 6. He's going to bring to the wicket. Franks come in right arm over the wicket to Douglas. Douglas is driving. It's off the mark. First ball. So Stephen Douglas takes his personal tally 1-1. The Cleveland total 1-22 for the loss of 1. Going to be a change of field. There's a right-hander and a left-hander at the wicket now. Well, it was a right-hander and left-hander with Trott in. Jason Anderson looks to be in good nick. As Franks comes in, right arm, move the wicket, pass umpire McCurdy. Footer's length Yorker, and Anderson's driving on the onside. Scampered through for a single. Ball is fielded by, looks like Dejon Carey. Total moves on to 24 for the loss of 1. 23 for the loss of 1. Fielders are going to make their change once again. The umpire comes across. Lovely crowd here at Seabreeze Oval. Looks like that overcast conditions coming back as Franks comes in to Stephen Douglas, and that's down the leg side, not fielded cleanly by wicket keep, and they'll scamper through for buys, I believe. Yeah, it's going to be buys. So total moves on to 24 for the loss of 1.
You know, people have been asking all day if that's the lowest score. I don't know. I don't know.
Franks is in, and Anderson's forward in defense. No chance of a run. That's the end of the over. So Cleveland County are 24 for the loss of 1 after 7 overs. With Stephen Douglas Jr., the new batsman on 1, I would think. And Jake, but nevertheless, it's Nelson Bascom to continue from the northern end, and that's a footer's length delivery. Douglas attempting to drive, gets a thick inside edge, and the ball rolls down to fine leg area where it's fielded by Carey, but not before the batsman calls for a single. So the total moves on to 25 for 1. So I would think it's either probably St. David's or Bay, and if I had To take a guess, I would think it would be St. David's. Could be wrong. Nevertheless, it's basking in once again to Anderson for this length. Anderson just driving straight to covers where it's fielded by Roger Edmonds. No chance of a run. They had it quite a while with Vernon, Fogo.
Yeah.
They had a pretty good team. Sydney Cowboy, Hole, and Jeffrey Pitcher. As Baskin comes in again for this length and on driven this time by Anderson out to the mid-wicket boundary where it's fielded by Vernon Eve. And it's a further run to the score, 26 for the loss of 1. Cleveland County chasing a total of 57, 58 needed for victory. Go right arm over the wicket to Douglas. This is short. Douglas on the back foot trying to drive off the back foot. Gets another pick inside edge onto the foot and hit reels out to point where it's fielded by, who's that? Azim Pitcher. So 26 for the loss of 1. Cleveland County. With Nelson Bascom operating from the northern end. Right arm over the wicket to Stephen Douglas. For this length, Douglas is driving. Being outside the off stump. Wilson quickly takes off the bails. Big appeal to Curran. Turns at his mark. Runs in pass, umpire deal to Douglas. On the back foot. Douglas on the back foot, punches it to the offside where it's fielded by Captain Cofield Robinson, who has a shy at the stumps. No chance of getting a run out. Yeah, and Douglas moves his total on to 3. Cleveland total to 27 for 1, and that's the end. That's better than the betting as he comes in. Left arm over the wicket to Douglas. Douglas on the front foot, plays it into the covers where it's fielded by, who's that?
Edness.
Roger Edness. No chance of a run. As Eve comes in once again, left arm over, floating to delivery to Douglas. Douglas on the front foot, plays it into the covers where it's fielded once again by Roger Edness. No chance of a run. Eve in again. Outside the off stump, Douglas is driving, a catch there, straight and in and out of the hands of Roger Edness, who's feeling a bit too close for that full-blooded drive. So Douglas is given a chance here. He moves his total on to 4. Cleveland County total on to 28 for the loss of 1. And now Eve is going to be burning to Jason Anderson, who's currently on 17. He's going to be birding with a slip, a point, a man in the covers, long off. Okay, as he comes in. Anderson's driving down to long off, where it's fielded by Kaiwan Franks. Batsman cross for a single. The total moves on to 29 for 1. It's going to bring the left-handed Stephen Douglas on to strike. 29 for 1.
That fielder only comes into play with a top edge and a sweep shot.
A top edge is not even going to carry that far with the speed is bowling.
Not the speed that is bowling.
All right, so it's Eve in again to Douglas. Flatter delivery, and Douglas pulls that run to square leg. Thinks about a run, but it's turned back by Anderson. It's fielded there by
Pitcher.
Azim Pitcher? Yeah, so a piece of fielding there by Pitcher. Eve comes in to Douglas once again. Flighted delivery, and this time it's sweeping. He's going to get 4 for that. Good valiant effort there by Kaiwan Franks, but he's beaten for pace by that sweep by Stephen Douglas. So Stephen Douglas takes his total on to 8. The Cleveland County total on to 33 for 1.
All you have to do is bring your vehicle in and we replace the old tires with the new. No reservations necessary. We're open Monday to Saturday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. That's Island Construction on the Middle Road in Devonshire. We'll be waiting to make your vehicle all it can be with the world's best tires. You can call us at 236-3011. We look forward to giving you a safer ride.
Welcome back to Seabreeze Oval. It's 33 for 1 here at Seabreeze Oval as Q1 Franks is in now, right arm over the wicket. Boils to Jason Anderson. This one goes down the leg side. And Anderson tries to turn it off his pads. It goes out toward Skrillex. It's a Zim pitcher out there fielding. And there's no run. 33 for 1 in reply to 57 all out posted by Flats. 57 all out posted by Flats. In what can only be described as a feeble attempt to post a score that is worth defending. So Jason Anderson drives this one, star covers. Good piece of fielding there by Raji Ednis. Very good effort by Ednis.
It wouldn't be a Flatt's team if you didn't see Raji in the covers.
Well, he's always been reliable out there in the covers. He's a very good fielder. He's been playing for a long time, and he's certainly been a very worthy part of their team for a number of years. 57 all out. Franks is in again, right arm over. He bowls to Anderson, and Anderson is forward defensively. Batting pair together. John Franks bowling with one man. Franks again. Bowls. Anderson drives this one. Handsome stroke. And it was to the right of the fielder out there at mid-off. There's Regino Smith, who made a valiant effort to cut it off, but wasn't able to, and it goes through to the long off boundary for 4 runs. 37 now. 37 for 1. And Jason Anderson moves on to 22. 22.
I don't know what you do to him, sure. Honestly.
Gotta be even, gotta be fair. This one a lovely stroke from Jason Anderson. Gets that one off his pads. And it's 4 runs to the long leg boundary. 4 runs. Jason Anderson moves on to 26. And the score is 41 for 1. 41 for 1. Jason Anderson moves on to 26. And that is the end
ball down here. Weather's holding off, so it's not too hot, nice and breezy.
Yeah, it's a good. Well, you know, cricket is a funny game. You know,
he's been giving out.
He's out.
He's been giving out.
Stephen Douglas was trying to drive that one, and it came off. We're not certain, or at least I'm not certain if it came off his pad. It popped off of what looked like either the bottom of the pad or the toe of the bat, flew in the air and went to the first slip who caught it. And so we're not certain if it was a catch or if he was out LBW. He was either caught in the first. You want to hand some out? We got a whole lot. You want to hand them out? All right. The score here is 41 for 2. You want that many?
Yeah, that's
okay. All right. 41 for 2, and we've had we've had 11 overs. The score is 41 for 2, and the match is continuing along. 41 for 2, and Randy Bean is not yet off the mark. Jason Anderson has 26. It's 41 for 2 here at Seabreeze Oval. 41 for 2. And Jason Anderson turns the northern end. Comes in now, right arm over the wicket. Pushes this one out into the covers. They go through. They think of a single, but Regino Smith prevents any chance of a run. 41 for 2. Cleveland needing 16 runs to tie, 17 to cross the score.
Oh, he's out.
And he is out. Jason Anderson.
What happened there was Jason Anderson fishing outside the off stump, got an edge and went straight to the man at first slip. And almost went down his throat. It was an easy catch at first slip.
Hopefully he can get it right. The end of the season, a couple games left. I need him to make some runs if he gets selected for the Division 3. A bit of words going on there.
Yeah, a lot of people just now from Colin Franks.
Rap
Douglas on the pad out in front. Umpire Deal says no, but Franks made his way all the way down to Douglas and let him know that if he wasn't out, he was close to out. And probably a few other choice words. Franks now back into Douglas. That's why he's dropping on his pad. A lot of field. That one might have been going down leg though.
Yeah, got a piece of bat on that.
Franks is telling it. Might be a few more words now.
You know, it's all right to hedge when you got a couple of 100 runs when you're close, but when you have 57 runs.
Well, you know,
but you know what? That's good though. I like to see that in the players.
Yeah.
There's a few runs left, but he's not giving up.
No.
You know what? I would like to see this when they started the innings.
Yeah.
Because we didn't see that when Flats came out.
They came down with their shoulders slumped as if they had given up. But now they're fighting back. So Franks is in again. Right arm over, and he bowls to Douglas. And Douglas sends that one for a ride. 6 runs
off the roof.
Right on the roof of Bailey's Bay Cricket Club. A big 6. 6 runs right on the roof of the club. 6 runs. Alan Douglas opens his account with a mighty 6 right on the roof of Bailey's Bay Cricket Club. A big 6.
One thing you know about Alex, he's not going to back down.
Oh no.
He would
big
take the challenge.
Right on the roof of the club. And so the score is now 47 for 3 in reply to 57 all out. And Alan Douglas opens his account with a 6. $47 for 3, and Douglas is on 6. As Franks bowls to Douglas, and Douglas raises his bat and watches that one go by. And that's the end of the over. End of the over.
There are dietary choices you can make that'll help guard against heat exhaustion. Plenty of water is essential, but don't forget the importance of electrolytes like potassium and sodium lost through sweating, which help the body maintain vital functions. Choose fresh bananas, cucumber, tomatoes, coconut water, summer squash, and watercress. Nutritional multitaskers that'll help you keep cool this summer. Lindo's, why go anyplace else?
Can you hear that?
Tango Uniform Sierra cleared for takeoff.
That's the peace of mind I get from knowing that my travel plans are insured with BF&M. Lost luggage, trip cancellations. When it comes to traveling, things don't always go as planned. But with travel insurance from BF&M, you can relax and enjoy the flight. You can even get a quote and purchase it online. Call 295-5566 or visit bfm.pm to find out how to take the worry out of your vacation with BF&M's travel insurance.
And we're back here at Seabreeze Oval for the final round of the Eastern County match between Flats and Cleveland County. As Vernon Eve continuing from the southern end, just built 2 balls to Randy B without scoring. As B got once wrapped on his pad, half-hearted appeal from the Eve. Umpire McCurdy says not out. 47 for the loss of 3. In batsman Randy Bean yet to get off the mark after facing 8 deliveries. And Alan Douglas Jr. 6 after 4 deliveries. As Eve left arm over to Bean. That one's down leg side. Bean gets to turn that round to the fine leg region. They only run 1. They should have got at least 2 out of that, but they got 1, so Bean off the mark. .48 for the loss of 3. That brings Alan Douglas Jr. on to strike.
That's one of Lorenz's prodigies.
Who's that?
Randy Bean.
Is that right?
Former word player.
Lorenzo, we've been talking about a lot of your proteges have left you. I don't know what's going on with you. We have to talk, Tucker. It's now Eve to Douglas. And Douglas, we was just talking about that just off air. This could be dangerous because Douglas will look to try to finish this game as soon as possible. He rocks back just now, doesn't make contact. The last delivery. It's Eve now. The one's pitched on the middle stump, and Douglas gives the respect. Stretches forward defense. That's the end of the over. 1 run in the over. It's a good over from Eve. He's bowled 3 overs now, 1 maiden, 1 for 7. And let's see if Franks will continue. Yep, it looks like Franks will continue from the northern end. He's bowled 6 overs, no maidens, 2 for 23. They're trying to chase down 57, posted by Flatt. With the first round being what we call a humdinger. The second round sort of ended in a team draw due to the weather. We're now at the third round and final round. Now I'm just throwing this back out here because, man, as you played in it many years. But it'd be nice to see if they can get back the champions of champions. Even if we don't have the central counties anymore.
Yes, they do. They still have it.
Well, I'm sorry, 2 teams. Yeah.
The central county was the strongest county for many, many years. Why are you blinking your eyes and looking at it? It's not true. If you go back and look at the record of champions, I guarantee you the central county won it more than the western county and the eastern county put together.
That's why you're here.
You could tell Devonshire Rec, Western Stars, National Sports Club, Police Recreation Club, and if you look at those, that's all you will see.
Yeah.
Maybe once or twice you might see. Central County was the most powerful county in the country at one time.
Yeah.
The top 5 teams were Central County: Police, Western Stars, Devonshire Rec, National Sports Club. Yeah. Top 4 every year. Guaranteed.
Times have changed.
But St. George is poking in every now and then. You got to remember your history now. Right? Stop looking around to Central County. We might be dead, but we're not buried yet. We have a strong history.
Nice to see you come back, though.
Well, we got Western Stars have a good young team. Devonshire Rec's trying to get there, but the other teams have filled it. Police, actually, I was talking to a couple of police older players yesterday at Spot Restaurant. Oliver Bean and Dave Purcell, they used to play, and they were a little bit perturbed about the whole situation also. That Police not having a team in the Premier League.
Franks has bowled a second ball now to Bean. Bean allowed that to go through to Wilson, now standing up. Wilson got on the green helmet. Franks now to Bean. This one's got a bit of movement in the air just now. Bean full defense. Yeah, the Benson and Hedges.
Benson and Hedges, you got it.
Yeah.
I guess the primary thing that would require that a competition like that would require is a
sponsorship. Yeah. And like I said, it gives the bragging rights because you see how passionate Ben is about it.
Yeah.
It gives the bragging rights for the counties because every county think especially at a particular time of the of the seat or a particular time of the era, they think they have the best county.
I don't want to knock you, the Eastern County, right? But if you look at what we have here, you got Cleveland County, who's winning the first Eastern County.
Yes.
Who probably never won a major league title or anything. Flats who are up and down.
Yeah.
St. David's, Davis Bay, they're the only 2. But if you look back at the Central County, man, it was at its strength. We had 4 clubs that were vying for every trophy in the league. With National Sports Club, with players like Darren Lewis, Jason Lewis, Rupert Scotland, Clarence Porfit. Then you go to Devonshire Rec, Trot, Joe Smith, Lionel Thomas, you name it. Then you go to Islandstats. I won't call any names.
There's your cousins in there.
We had some powerful teams in that Central County.
Okay.
And then if you went to police, you had Adrian King and Tyrone Smith. You name it.
Franks, that's a good over from Franks. He just bowled a maiden. It's a good over from Franks, bowled a maiden. 48 for 3 after 14 overs. In batsman Randy Bean still on 1 after 15 balls, and Alan Douglas Jr. 6 after 6. But like I said, I think the lack of sponsors, and hopefully they can get some sponsors to bring something like that back. Even the old competitions, the double wickets.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of things that are going to, just like we talked about earlier, the West Indies against Bermuda game. That was an annual game every year. That's quality cricket, more quality cricket you're talking about. You had that league where you had a pick of Bermuda against a pick of the West Indians. You had, like you said, the Benson and Handles with the champions of champions, with the champions of each county playing. You had Schaefer Shield 2-day tournament. It's a lot of cricket that was going on. But then the teams were a lot stronger. See, I called out a lot of teams. Rangers, you even have Southampton Rangers who had that strong team that won every major tournament or trophy in that year. So there were some good teams around. We struggle for it today.
As Eve now continues from the southern end, pitch that one up to Douglas. And Douglas is taking the one out to the mid-wicket region. And he gets 1. So 1 more for the total 49 now. That brings Randy Bean on to strike. As he floats down up to Bean, it gets a, might have got a thick outside edge. Yep, got a thick outside edge. Runs down to backward point. So Bean gets a single. That brings Douglas on strike, and you watch all the fielders now back up. They retreat back towards the boundary as they're sensing Douglas to take a heave at Eve. I think everybody else up here too. Yes, and he's driving that along the ground though. Down there to mid-on region. It's a long run, but they will get 2. It's a good bit of fielding there by Regino Smith. He had a long run from his mid-wicket position. He was on the boundary. Had to come all the way down there to long on. That's Eve now to Douglas. Douglas playing this one on the offside now, straight to Roger Adnis. Playing at a short extra cover. Vernon Eve, left arm, over. Now he's pushing it mid on back to long on. He floats that one up, and Douglas is going hard. Let's go to the covers region to get 4 runs off of that. So Douglas drives that onto the covers boundary. There's nobody out there sweeping, as Franks wasn't able to cut it off from the extra cover position. So the score now is 56. 56 for 3. Douglas on 13. As Flatt's posted 57. Cleveland are 56 for 3. He pitches that one up, and Douglas is wrapped on the pair, but attempted to turn around the corner. And that's the end of the over. So, at the end of 15 overs, score is 56 for the loss of 3. And batsman Randy Bean not out on 2, and Douglas not out on 13. Today's special sports presentation brought to you by Belco, the power to save, Lindo's, why go anyplace else, Corona, find your beach, Island Construction, and BF&M Insurance Matters. I don't know if we should break for a commercial because we really have one run, but I'll turn it over to you.
Keep going.
I'll turn it.
You finish it off, and I'll take over.
I think now the
Numbers gonna keep going on.
Yeah, actually, you're right. Time now by my watch is 25-26 after 2.
So we still got another 2 hours.
So we got at least another 2 hours of cricket. Plus we have the tea interval. And when will be the next? When will be the next water break too? Sure. Looks like Franks now will continue from the northern end to be the one's outside of the off stump.
20 minutes.
Wasn't collected cleanly by Wilson.
Quarter two
for the next water break. So about 20 minutes away from that. But a good crowd down, a great crowd down at Seabreeze Oval.
It's turning out to be a better day than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah. And we've been spared today. Driving down, the north was looking very dark, but we've been spared. As Franks to be. As that one gets an outside edge, is going to run down. The misfielder there by the men at first slip. And they get a single. So Cleveland 57 now. 57 for 3. As the scores are even. To the total that Flatt's posted this morning. That brings Alan Douglas Jr. on to strike. He's on 13. That's Franks now to Douglas. And Douglas stretching forward for defense. Punch that one out to the point region where Bijan Carey fields. Franks at his mark now. Turns and runs in. This one's Yorkerling ball. Pitch stop. And Douglas punches this one out to mid-off. And that's 58 now for Cleveland. So they have passed the score of Flatt.